This is Natural Wonders of the West. It is 277 miles long, a mile deep, and it lays bare nearly 2 billion years of the Earth. The river made it, and men nearly owned it. The Colorado does not pause. At River Mile 77, the water drops over a boulder fan and churns white through Hance Rapids, among the canyon's most severe. The river made this place. It still runs entirely on its own terms. Stand on the south rim, and the eye fails. 277 miles end to end. Lee's Ferry to the Grand Wash Cliffs. 18 miles across at its widest. The mind reaches for scale and finds none. From the north rim to the river's surface, 6,093 feet. More than a vertical mile. Most of it open air. Hikers reach the edge, stop, and quietly recalibrate everything they thought they knew. In low water, the river drifts at 300 cubic feet per second. But before the dams, floods pushed it past 300,000. 1,000 times the volume, wall to wall. In those moments, the Colorado was not carving. It was consuming. What you are looking at is a wound, not metaphor, description. The plateau stands intact on either side. The canyon is what was removed, stripped out, carried southwest to the Gulf of California, and gone. Geologists call it an incised river canyon. The water cut down faster than it cut sideways. That is why the walls stand nearly vertical. Why the depth seems to swallow the width. Why scale itself feels broken here. Reach down at river level, and you touch stone formed 1.84 billion years ago. The Vishnu basement rocks, dark schist and pink granite, cooked miles deep, then exhumed. When they formed, complex life did not yet exist. Above the Vishnu runs a line, horizontal, almost surgical, the Great Unconformity. It is not rock, it is missing time. 1.2 billion years of it. Mountains, seas, whole chapters, erased before they could be written down. Then the record restarts. The Tapeats sandstone, 525 million years old, laid on a Cambrian seafloor as the ocean crept across the continent. Its grains were once beach sand. Midway up the southern face stands the Redwall limestone, 500 feet of it, 340 million years old, built near the equator. It is not truly red. Iron oxide bled from above and disguised it, fooling the early surveyors. At the rim, you stand on the Kaibab limestone, 270 million years old. Locked inside it, brachiopods, crinoids, shark's teeth. A marine graveyard, raised 7,000 feet above the sea. 5 to 6 million years ago, the Gulf of California tore open along the rift between two plates. The sea reached inland. For the first time, the Colorado had a direct outlet, and the gradient dropped. Water falling faster cuts harder. How the drainages merged is still argued. At the University of New Mexico, Carl Karlstrom read the cooling histories locked in the canyon's minerals, Thermochronology, publishing in 2012 and 2014. The Western Canyon, he found, may be older than anyone assumed. The river's weapon was never water alone. It dragged sand, gravel, and boulders along its bed, an abrasive, grinding bedrock to powder. Geologists call it corrosion. In flood, the Colorado rolled boulders the size of automobiles. It still does. Cutting deepened the canyon. The widening came from the sides. More than a dozen tributaries, Bright Angel Creek, Kanab Creek, the Little Colorado, carved their own gorges, prying the walls outward, mile by mile, century by century. The work is not finished. The canyon still deepens, roughly a quarter inch every 100 years. Against a human lifetime, invisible. Against the rock itself, relentless and without mercy. 2,000 years before the Common Era, hunters worked the inner canyon. They left figurines twisted from a single split willow shoot, deer and bighorn, no larger than a hand, hunting talismans sealed in limestone caves for 4,000 years. Between 700 and 1200 CE, the Kayenta people built in the walls themselves. At Nankoweap, River Mile 52, 4 stone rooms sit on a ledge 800 feet above the water. Dry laid masonry, it has held for 8 centuries. By 1300, the Havasupai lived on the south rim and in Havasu Canyon, where travertine falls run turquoise. Their name means people of the blue-green water. They farmed the floor in summer, ranged the rim in winter, generation upon generation. The Hopi hold something older, a small travertine dome in the gorge of the Little Colorado, the Sipapu, the place of emergence where their people passed from the world below into this one. Here, the canyon is not geology, it is the threshold between worlds. Summer, 1540. Coronado's expedition stalls at the Zuni Pueblo of Hawiku, still hunting the golden cities of Cibola. He sends a lieutenant, Garcia Lopez de Cárdenas, west with a dozen soldiers, chasing rumor of a great river. 20 days west across the high plateau, guided by Hopi men from Tusayan. Then, in September 1540, the ground simply ended. Cárdenas and his soldiers became the first Europeans ever to stand on the rim, a void with no frame of reference. They looked down and saw the Colorado threading the floor. They judged it perhaps 6 feet wide. It was 300 feet across. The canyon had swallowed their sense of scale whole. The same trick it still plays on every newcomer. Cárdenas ordered a descent. 3 of his most agile men spent 3 days on the walls, hunting a way to the water. They reached perhaps a third of the way down. The Hopi guides pointed out paths that led nowhere. Error or misdirection, the record does not say. Parched, the soldiers climbed back. Cárdenas reported the canyon impassable, an obstacle, a dead end. The crown wanted gold and converts. This gash offered neither. No European returned for 236 years, until Father Garcés reached the rim in 1776. May the 24th, 1869. Green River, Wyoming Territory. John Wesley Powell, one-armed, 35, his right arm left on the field at Shiloh, pushes 4 wooden boats into the current with 9 men. No maps, no chart of the rapids ahead. The first week, Lodore Canyon destroys the No Name and a third of their food. By July, morale frays. Powell keeps meticulous notes, naming formations, measuring walls, while his crew bails water and patches splintered hulls. August 13th, the mouth of the Little Colorado. The walls narrow and deepen, and the canyon begins in earnest. Powell names as he goes: Bright Angel Creek, Marble Canyon, the Granite Gorge, where the black schist rises wet from the river's edge. August 28th, Separation Canyon, Oramel and Seneca. Howland and William Dunn had run out of will. They climbed out for the rim. They never reached safety. The Shivwits Paiute, told prospectors had killed one of their own, almost certainly mistook them for the guilty. Powell's 5 remaining men ran the final miles and cleared Lava Falls, the drop they dreaded most. August 30th, 98 days out, they pulled ashore at the Virgin River. In 1870, Powell named it for the record, the Grand Canyon of the Colorado. Around 1883, John Hance reached the rim chasing asbestos. The mineral never paid. The tourists did. He cut the first trail to the river and guided visitors down for $1 a day. William Bass followed, stringing a cable across the Colorado. Ore was just the legal address. Ralph Cameron read the canyon differently. From 1890, he filed claims along Bright Angel Trail, the only gentle descent. No ore was ever found. What the claims produced was legal standing. He bolted a toll gate at the trailhead, $1 per head. Control the trail. Control the canyon. May 1903, Theodore Roosevelt stood at the edge. Leave it as it is. The ages have been at work on it, and man can only mar it. Then, on January 11th, 1908, he wielded the Antiquities Act and locked 808,000 acres beyond any single claim. Roosevelt declared it in a single morning. It would take 11 more years, 2 presidents, and a Supreme Court ruling to make it a national park. But the door was shut, and the miners were too late. The river carves still. Next time, on Natural Wonders of the West, the fire and fountains of Yellowstone, where the earth itself boils.